Hello and welcome. My name is Meepolis, they, she, he, and this is Literally Graphic. And today I'm going to do a TBR and recommendations video for the IndigAthon, which is happening this month. And due to some not so recent controversy, I would like to go on the record that if you couldn't already tell from my outro, this is a land back supporting channel. Beyond just reading Indigenous literature, I would strongly encourage all of my settler peers, wherever you are in the world, to learn more about the land you live on, the original inhabitants, and become actively involved in decolonizing movements around you. The hosts for the IndigAthon are Thor Wants Another Letter and Etu Brody. Links to their announcement videos and the prompts. To start things off, as I generally do, I will be highlighting the graphic novels I've read and reviewed this past year that are by Indigenous creators and would be good picks for the IndigAthon, in my humble opinion. I also did this video last year, so check that out for even more recommendations. First off, you cannot miss out on the Moonshot Anthology, volumes 2 and 3. I had previously reviewed volumes 1 and 2, but both of those were before the Great Channel Reset, so I've been meaning to touch on them again. A series of comic anthologies in full color that feature a wide variety of genres. Each volume is better than the last, and I would highly recommend. And because Indigenous History Month is actually in June, here in so-called Canada, I did make a video profiling prolific comic writer David Alexander Robertson during that time. Definitely more of a kids lit to YA creator, especially when it comes to his comic books. Robertson feels like he's done something for just about everyone, with coming of age and Indigenous histories being strong themes through a lot of it. I just reviewed the short YA series, A Girl Called Echo, another great introduction to Métis history in so-called Canada. Plus, there's time travel. And because Indigenous people exist all around the world, I'm also highlighting LaGuardia by Nnedi Okorafor, a book I reviewed back in May. It's chock full of aliens, themes of belonging, family, and great art. And while most of these were books that had been on my TBR for a long time, this last one was a rather impulsive pickup. In contrast, I saw Come Home Indio by Jim Terry on my library's new graphic novel acquisition page, put it on hold, received it, read it, and found space for it in my posting schedule. A memoir about self-discovery and recovery. It was a very rewarding read that was also beautiful. Moving along to the not graphic novel content, I decided to go with a slightly different game for this video, so you should be seeing my attempt to play through Thunderbird Strike, a lightning searing side-scroller. Link in the description to how you can also check it out and play this free game. Despite my love for the game, Minecraft in particular perpetuates the idea of terra nullius, or empty land, which TLDR posits that there is such a thing as empty land with no Indigenous people. Unrealistic resource extraction is also fairly central to the gameplay. Unlike last year's video, I wanted to briefly highlight some not comic books by Indigenous authors I read this past year, and you should probably at least try. Firstly, the person I can't stop talking about this year, namely Akwaeke Emezi, is an Indigenous Igbo writer. They've written a lot of very popular and lauded books, including Pet, Freshwater, and The Death of Vivek Oji, to name just a few. Next, as I mentioned in my most recent quarterly wrap-up, I've been using the Storykeepers podcast to motivate myself to read a number of Indigenous titles that had been on my TBR for far too long, namely Why Indigenous Literatures Matter by Daniel Heath Justice and Half-Breed by Maria Campbell, both very good nonfiction titles. Other nonfiction titles you might check out are David A. Robertson's memoir Black Water, or the very accessible but not holding punches A Knock on the Door, the essential history of the residential schools from the Truth and Reconciliation Commission of Canada. Nelson Mandela's book Long Walk to Freedom is also Indigenous literature. There Was a Country by Chinua Achebe, and Unsettling Canada by Arthur Manuel. And while I've already mentioned Nnedi Okorafor, she is another one of those extremely talented and prolific across mediums types. So you should also check out her science fiction novels as well. Dipping our toe into genre fiction a bit further, we also have Riot Baby by Tochi Onyebuchi and Ray Bearer by Jordan Ifueko. There's also contemporary fiction like The Fisherman by Chigozie Obioma, and the extremely difficult to categorize Split Tooth by Tanya Tagak. And while I'm still horrible at doing readathons, some Indigenous books that I am hoping to read and or review in the coming months are Sovereign Traces, not just another, a graphic anthology, Burning in the Midnight Dream, a poetry collection by Louise B. Half-Sky Dancer, Akata Warrior by Nadia Corafor, Our History is the Future by Nick Estes, Medicine Walk by Richard Wagamies, A History of My Brief Body by Billy Ray Belcourt, and perhaps a few titles as I wrap up my goal reading for the year that I don't realize yet are Indigenous titles. But what about y'all? Whose land are you living on? Do you make a point of reading Indigenous literature? Is your pursuit of social justice intersectional? By y'all, keep reading and organize to end capitalist oppression.
Restoration.
And as always, Literally Graphic is created on land that should be given back to the traditional landholders, which in this case is, to my knowledge, the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, Anishinaabe people, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, and the Huron-Wendat Nation.